Thank you again to the organizers for the invitation. I am asked to speak about VPN and press freedom in Southeast Asia. And since I'm only given 7 minutes, please allow me to structure my presentation into 4 parts. So in the first part, I will discuss the regional context relating to civil and political rights in Southeast Asia, particularly press freedom and freedom of the net. In the second part, I will look into the importance of VPN as an important tool for journalists and activists to circumvent internet censorship. In the next part, I will tackle that while VPN is an important tool, it is not foolproof and it still has certain limitations. And finally, I will discuss some possible ways to address those limitations. So let me start by saying that VPNs or virtual private networks, as we saw in the previous presentation, play a critical role in terms of addressing the curtailment of freedom of speech, promoting independent journalism, as well as digital freedom. The most recent regional data in Southeast Asia show that the political environment is getting worse. So in the 2024 Freedom of the House report, for example, Timor-Leste is the only Southeast Asian country to be considered free. The rest are partly free or not free. In the said report, Freedom House also stated that in the past decade, 5 Southeast Asian countries have fallen into what it calls the destructive race to the bottom in terms of representative governance. And this include countries like Brunei, Vietnam, and Laos. So they got the lowest possible score in terms of representative rule. Similarly, in terms of press freedom, only Timor-Leste is in a satisfactory situation. The rest are problematic, difficult, and in a very serious situation. And in Southeast Asia, it may interest you that Vietnam is ranking the lowest in terms of press freedom. In the country where I came from, the Philippines, just to let you know, there are 135 documented cases of attacks against members of the media, just in a span of 2 years, from 2022 to 2024. As regards freedom of the net, the lowest scoring countries in the region are Myanmar, China, and again, Vietnam. Where there are laws passed penalizing online expression, and these countries are also periodically experiencing internet cut-offs, particularly during protests and elections. So journalists in Southeast Asia, given this regional context, face physical and digital threats. Many are imprisoned or attacked for reporting on various issues, such as corruption, human rights abuses, and political scandals. Governments and hackers often engage in digital surveillance and targeted cyber attacks, creating a hostile environment for the press. In such context, VPNs serve as a crucial line of defense. So there are many essential benefits. So I think it was already mentioned in the previous presentation in terms of encrypting internet traffic. VPNs ensure that data remains confidential and unreadable to unauthorized parties. This anonymity is crucial for individuals reporting on sensitive topics or organizing resistance against oppressive regimes. VPNs also allow users to bypass restrictions on websites and social media platforms and international news outlets, providing access to information that government attempt to suppress. Additionally, encrypted connections enable secure communication, which is of course very important for journalists in terms of exchanging information with sources without fear of interceptions. So while VPNs are invaluable, there are certain limitations that we have to address as well. So for example, in situation of complete internet shutdown or blackout, well, VPNs do not work. Some governments such as Myanmar and China have also banned or restricted use of VPNs. The reputation of VPN providers is another serious concern. Not all services are trustworthy. So sometimes these service providers may log user data, leak information, and cooperate with governments, compromising the security and anonymity of users. Apart from this, pre-VPNs often lack robust encryption and may sell user data to third parties. Additionally, premium VPN services with strong security features can be very expensive, and this can be a constraint for independent journalists and activists operating on tight budgets. Technical challenges such as reduced internet speeds and complexity of VPN setup can also hinder their effective use. There are also instances when the government itself will release its own VPN to target unsuspecting users. So to maximize the potential of VPN, several measures are recommended. So we need advocacy and awareness campaigns that can educate journalists, activists, and citizens about the importance of VPN. Training programs are also essential in terms of teaching individuals to install, configure, and use VPNs effectively. And then international organizations, given that the cost of secure VPNs can be really expensive, they can collaborate to provide subsidy to VPN services, particularly in users in restrictive environment. Transparency is also critical, particularly on the part of the service providers, to maintain user trust and safety. So in conclusion, I think VPNs are an indispensable tool in the fight for freedom of the press in Southeast Asia. They enable access to information, protect privacy, and ensure that independent journalism can survive in environments of censorship and surveillance. While VPNs alone cannot address all the challenges, their role in safeguarding freedom of expression and supporting digital resistance is invaluable. So thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Lego.